Hello, this is Mark Sabatella from Outside Shore Music. In this video, I want to talk about a really important principle that we learn about when we learn counterpoint, or at least you will learn if you enroll in my Practical Counterpoint course, because I cover this in some detail. But it's not something that I always see in other courses and textbooks. I feel it's a really important point, and I'm going to try to show you this. And don't worry if some of the details are, hard to understand at first, because this is not like the beginning of the course, right? This is something we kind of work up to an explanation of what's going on, and then further work up to showing how to use this information. But the information itself, I think, you will find interesting. So let's say that we have a melody here, a real simple melody. I just have it in whole notes, right? Nice, simple little melody in a bass line. And now let's say that we want to use some imitative counterpoint, meaning we want to have the tenor voice come in with that same melody, say, a measure later. So if I take that exact same melody here and just copy and paste it up to the tenor part up here, and we listen to this, there's some dissonances, right? Right? So we get some dissonances in there. And not that dissonances are bad, but what we often try to do when writing counterpoint is to have consonances in the most important places, like at the beginnings of measures where the notes line up. This is all stuff that we get into a lot more detail in the course, as well as just the question of what is consonance and what is dissonance. Now, so this melody just didn't work to do that. Now, another thing that you might want to know about imitative counterpoint, though, is that usually, or very often, it's not coming in at the same pitch. Like this original melody started on D. I brought the tenor in starting on D. It's actually more common for the next voice to come in, say, a fifth above. So if I transpose this up a fifth diatonically, it helps a little bit, but no, not really. Let's listen to this now. That's a fourth. That's a fourth. Those are considered dissonant. That's dissonant. That's dissonant, right? And that's another fourth. More dissonance, right? So that didn't really work either. Now, you might think that there's just sort of a trial and error and it's like magic when things happen to work out, but that's not actually the case. It's not magic. There is a really simple principle that you can put into place in order to make this imitative counterpoint at the fifth, like this, where the second entrance is a fifth above the original. A really simple principle you can put into play when constructing your melody that will make it work. And I refer to this as 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So let me delete all this business here, and let's talk about what I mean by that. My original melody starts on D. When the tenor comes in, it's going to come in on A. And so I want to ask myself, well, what note could I give the bass that's going to harmonize nicely with that A? One of the things that we'll learn about is that the so-called imperfect consonances, thirds and sixths, are especially good. They're not your only choices, but they are especially good choices. So I might want to have my bass voice be either a third below that A, like F sharp, or a sixth below, C sharp. Either way, either a third below or a sixth below. So my choices are either F sharp or C sharp for what the bass could be doing while that tenor comes in. Now, let's think about that, though, melodically. That really is saying that that bass voice can either go up a third from D to F sharp, or it could go down a step from D to C sharp. You can either go 2 steps forward, or you can go 1 step back, and it's going to work. So let me just build a melody using that principle. I've gone 2 steps forward here. Let's continue my melody by going 1 step back to E. And now let's go 2 more steps forward up to G. And now another step back to F sharp. And let's just keep stepping back until we get back to D. to kind of complete my melody here. What I'm going to say is that this same melody now, if I let the tenor take that same melody up a fifth, it's going to work out magically. Let's check this out. I'm going to paste it in here, and then I'm going to transpose it diatonically up a fifth. Second, third, fourth, fifth. And let's listen to this now. That's a third between the voices. Sixth. A third. A sixth. Another sixth. And another sixth. Right? It all just sort of worked out. We got all those consonant intervals because my main melody was built on that basic principle of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Now, in real life, this isn't exactly an interesting melody, right? It's nothing but whole notes. But no one ever said the melody has to be nothing but whole notes. We're just talking about getting the important points of the melody to line up this way. And again, in the course, I'll go into so much more detail about how we arrive at this and what we're going to do with it and how we can elaborate on this. But I just want to show you one example. In fact, I didn't just make this melody up. This is the foundation of one of the movements, or actually two of the movements, of Bach's Mass in B minor that I've been talking about some recently. So let's take a look at this. I'm not even going to go into any detail on it. I just want you to listen to it and ask yourself if you can kind of recognize that it sounds quite similar. There's my melody, the D going to the F sharp, and here comes the A. And you see that there's additional notes filling in the gaps. But listen to this. So, that is lovely, right? I mean, that is a gorgeous piece by Bach, and it's all based on the structure of this simple principle of building a melody in which your key points are 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And again, in the counterpoint course, I'm going to go into so much more detail showing where this all comes from, what we can do with it, and I really hope to see you there. But as it is, I hope you can find a use for this on your own with or without the course.